Hi there. If you're watching, you probably are getting ready to have shoulder surgery, or you have a friend or family member that's having shoulder surgery, or maybe you are going to be the primary caretaker for someone that's having surgery. So I'm Anna, and I'm sharing my shoulder surgery recovery and helpful things that have helped me along the way. And today is exactly 2 weeks post-op for my surgery. So 2 weeks of the day, and I had a lot of firsts today for me, so I'll share some of those with you. And then I also want to share some exciting things that have happened, little tiny things, but that are exciting in the long road of recovery that I have ahead of me. I think it's important to get excited about the little victories that you have once you're able to do something again for the first time. Get excited about that, and if you're able to do that each time that you have a victory, then it may help you to continue to keep focused on the good in your recovery instead of always dwelling on what you can't do, how your life is different right now. I know I'm only in week 2, and I'm sure as this goes on, I'm going to get tired very quickly of the things I can't do. So I'm trying to get ahead of the game and help to encourage myself in the good things that are happening in my recovery. Today is the first day that I have been at home by myself for most of the day. And I went to physical therapy, so somebody came and picked me up and took me to therapy. That is becoming a regular thing, which is hard. I'm not very good at asking for help. However, during this process of surgery and recovery, I keep learning that I need to continue to ask for help. So someone took me to therapy, and this was the 3rd time that I had physical therapy. First time was kind of a reevaluation. They were getting all the angles of how my shoulder was moving and elbow, and it was moving ways that I didn't think I could move it yet. Some of them were very painful and tiring, and so I figured out that I try to take my medicine closer to when I leave for therapy, as opposed to waiting until so that I'm not having to take a pill right after therapy, trying to alleviate some of that pain. But I have my way of trying to take my mind off of the pain at therapy is that I try to have a conversation with a physical therapist, and if I'm in constant conversation, then I'm not able to focus on my pain as much. It still is there, but that's one of the ways that I have used to not think about the pain. Another thing that's hard about this recovery is that I have 2 small kids, that I have a son who's 5 and a daughter who is 3, and I've been really learning that I'm kind of like a sideline parent right now. My husband is having to do most of the parenting. I mean, I'm still able to be there to give hugs and different things, but I can't really enforce discipline because I am still primarily in the recliner most of the day. I'm getting up more often, walking around and doing different things, but I still find that if I do too much, like if I'm up and around for longer than 20 minutes, then I'm really tired and I have to take a break and rest again. My husband ran a 10K a couple days ago, and we went out to watch, and I was only outside for like 20 minutes, but I was standing and I was taking pictures with my camera. I couldn't stabilize it with my left hand, but I was still taking a picture, trying to take pictures with my right hand. So I was standing for a while, and I think that just kind of kicked my butt, and I was exhausted and came inside and took a nap after that. So I would encourage you to just pay attention to signs that your body is giving you. If you are trying to do certain things and then you're just completely exhausted, feel like you can't keep going, then probably means you need to take it easy and rest. Definitely is not easy for me. I like to be on the go and doing things. But that's just the stage that God has me at right now, and I would rather recover fully than take a longer time excuse me, than take a longer time and not become fully recovered. Let's see. Oh, another exciting thing that happened today is because I had to go to physical therapy, I was able to unhook myself from my ice machine. So this little doohickey has 2 silver buttons, or little silver things. You push them and pull them out. And I was able to do that in a way that it didn't hurt my arm. Then I got back after physical therapy and I was able to actually hook it up myself. The ice pack thing that goes around the shoulder, it has 3 spots to Velcro. And so I just Velcroed the 2 bottom ones, left this one open, and I slid my arm in through here, and I was able to pull this around over my head and to get it on. So that was a huge thing to be able to do that, because that means that no longer do I have to wait for somebody to unhook me before I can get up out of my chair. My surgery, they ended up doing a lot more to the bicep tendon, and so I don't know if that's why I have a lot more swelling, or what is normal amount of swelling, but I have had to continue to ice my shoulder quite a bit throughout the day. I still do make sure to take breaks and make sure that it's not being iced constantly, but I do notice that it still is pretty painful. But I did also want to show you, make sure that you have chapstick of some kind next to you, because especially right after the surgery, your mouth, if you had any nausea medicine, is going to be dried out. And it's just kind of one of those things that it's nice. You're not able to do a lot of things, but putting chapstick on is one thing that you can. So you might have to get used to taking the lid off and then putting it down in front of you to put it back on. But it still is something that you can do. I thought that I would share a coloring page that I did. Now, I have a tendency to not always finish pages that I start, because I start using colors on it and I'm a perfectionist, so if I don't like the way that it looks, I just move on to the next page. But this is one that I actually finished the whole page. So this was something where I was able to just be coloring, and it helped me to feel creative, because even though I wasn't sewing or drawing or anything like that, I was still picking out the colors to put together, trying to make it look nice. So that is another positive thing that I've been able to do. Last night, for the first time, I was able to read a story to my kids before bed. I like to read Little House on the Prairie to them. And I was able to read a chapter. Both of them sat on one side, or sat on each side of me. And that was just nice to be able to do something that is a normal part of our routine that I've been out of for a couple weeks. So I enjoyed doing that. That was another positive thing. Still at 2 weeks, I'm needing help to get fully dressed. So if you have a primary caretaker, you may want them to be with you for at least 2 weeks. If you're a guy having surgery, it may not be as long, but for women, especially if you, just for wearing bras, that's another added step that is a little bit more difficult, takes a little bit more time. So you want to make sure that whoever is helping you, somebody that you're comfortable with, helping you get dressed and that type of a thing. Yesterday, I was able to do a shower almost all by myself. I was able to get it started, to get in, do everything in the shower, and then I just needed help getting dried off and getting dressed. So that was another positive thing. Huge steps from the week before. One of the things that's been really hard is that since I've been in the recliner most of the day, I feel like I have become more of a sideline parent. Like, I'm here, I can try to enforce discipline, but I'm not really able to get up and take care of it. I can say, I need you to go do this, but if I can't reinforce it, then it kind of feels like I'm just saying things and nothing is happening. So my husband has been having to take on that role more, and I've just had to sit back and allow him to do that and just try to focus more on getting myself better. It's hard to sit back and not take care of even little things like picking up the toy room or taking care of the living room, things in the kitchen. It really is a struggle to just sit, relax, and try to get better. My body has done a good job of reminding me when I need to rest more and take a break. So I would encourage you just to, you know your body the best. So when you are feeling more tired or feel like you overdid it, then that's a cue for you to just kind of take a step back and relax. I will say a couple days ago, I felt like it was a 1 step forward, 2 steps back kind of a day, where it just seemed like I was more tired, I was exhausted. I felt like I had been gaining speed, I guess, in recovery, that things were getting better. But then it just felt like I couldn't do anything. I was dropping things, I was being clumsy. If I knock something off of my table, then I can't reach down to get it, even if it's right there. That's the hardest thing, is being able to see things that I need, not being able to get it on my own, having to ask somebody else. So definitely is a stretching experience. Things are getting better, and like I said, I would encourage you to focus on the positive things that are happening, things that you're getting better at, things that you're able to do again for the first time. Trying to think if there's anything else. Yeah, and for me, the pain medicine, I'm very thankful for it for the first week or so. I'm glad that I've been able to wean myself off of that. I still am taking one, but 2 of them didn't really like the way it made me feel. I was very nauseous, very loopy, kind of out of my body experience. I don't know, it was kind of weird. But then also any loud noise or maybe even normal noise levels would really hurt my head, and I was super cranky. So thankful that part is done for now. I'm sure I will still be super cranky at times, but hoping that this next week goes well, and that even if there are aspects that don't, that I would still be able to focus on the good things of the recovery, and I encourage you to do that as well. I will see you next week.